2021 hasn't been a very good year for video games. In fact, it's been a pretty trash year, you know. A lot of the big budget games that came out are all just unfinished, unpolished, freaking travesties that disappoint millions of fans, you know. It just really is a bummer almost. But I'm not going to be too negative today. A lot of gamers, all they want to do is focus on the bad shit. Like, oh, my favorite shooter game came out. It's buggy as shit. Wah, wah. Yeah, that fucking sucks. But here's the games you should be really playing. While you're sitting there jerking your dick off about Call of Duty and fucking oh my god, Call of Duty, it came out shitty. You should be playing some actual good games like I'm about to list here. Oh yeah, and if someone gets mad because I didn't mention their favorite game, oh, you didn't play Demon Souls Remastered, oh, you didn't play the new Outer Wilds DLC. Fuck you, I'm not listing that. I didn't play that shit. This is all what I played. This is what I like. Number 4.
Name?
My name is Fox. Jesse Fox.
You don't seem to be Russian.
Russian? Me?
You were piloting a Russian aircraft 2 hours ago.
I also drive a Toyota, and I'm not Japanese.
Unmetal is one of those gems that probably would get overlooked in the shuffle of whatever else is coming out, but it really shouldn't, because it is a really fun and entertaining little game, you know. Now, you first thought maybe, hey, this looks like Metal Gear, and you're right. It pretty much is an older version of Metal Gear, you know, on the NES, but done way better. I'm not saying Metal Gear Solid. No, I'm talking about way back, the NES Metal Gear games, those types of games. It's just really fun. The stealth gameplay is terrific. The writing is really smart, funny. It's just a really good parody game, and it plays well. And it's probably the best Metal Gear we're ever gonna get at this point, because you know Konami's a fucking ass company. No, they won't make another one, but at least we have this. And I strongly recommend this game, especially at $20. This shit's a goddamn steal. Please play this game. Number 3.
Come on, move! Chris? What the hell? Take him away.
Aw, shit, baby. Resident Evil Village. Man, Capcom has really been on, a tear lately. Just releasing, banger after banger since, 2017, bro. Feels like all their most recent games have just, haven't missed the mark. And RE Village is no exception. You got the scares, you got the gunplay, you got motherfucking Chris back. Oh, it's so good. God damn, Capcom. Every time you release a game, just take my fucking money. Holy shit. You know, you got the scares, you got the monsters, you got the crazy wacky storyline, you got the cheekiness. I love that. They bring some of that RE4 cheesiness to it, with the one-liners and shit. Oh, it's so good. I don't even have that much to say about it. It's just really good. If you ever want to play a spooky game or just a game where you just shoot monsters, this is the way to go. It always is. Oh yeah, and also it brought Mercenaries back, which thank God. I freaking love Mercenaries. Every Resident Evil should have Mercenaries at this point. There should not be a Resident Evil game that doesn't have Mercenaries. So yeah, if you can, a definite purchase for sure. Number 2. Aw, shit. Lost Judgment, baby. Ooh, I was really excited for this one. Oh, man. I was a big fan of the first game, and this doesn't disappoint. It's just got more stuff, got more styles. There's just so much fucking content. Every single one of Ryuga Studios games. Just mountains and mountains of content. I love every single goddamn second of it. Alright, let's start off with the new combat. You got 4 styles this time, which is an improvement from the last game that's only had 2 styles, one of which was only viable. But now all the styles are viable. You could do crazy shit, you could cancel one style's combo into another style, some really fun shit. You could juggle enemies and all new heat moves, just good. It just feels really good. Don't have any complaints there. The second point is like the world, like Kamurocho and Jincho. It's just so fun to explore. It never gets boring, even though the studio's been using like the same map for like freaking 10, 12 years now. It just never gets boring. It's always like familiar and comfortable. Just running around the streets and beating up punks and helping out people with their weird ass problems. It's also another really like well written game. I mean, most of these games are well written, at least to my pea brain. Maybe if you want to get all picky and shit, you could find something to nag at, but honestly, it's just too endearing to not like. All the characters are pretty good. You know, some really stand out. I'm not gonna spoil who those characters are. You should find out for yourself. But you know, characters are fun. The story, the main storyline, really solid. You know, not the best out of any of these games, but definitely not, you know, the worst. It's not as good. The story's not as good as the first game, but it does have some really good moments in there. Especially the final boss fight at the end was really fucking hype. I mean, all the final bosses in these games are really hype, but you know, the last game that these guys released, the final boss, like, kind of almost made me cry. But yeah, my point is the story's good. All the little side missions are here. They're really fun. You get to go to a school and help out like the school, like kids, do all sorts of wacky shit and like become clubs. It's just a lot of fucking content. There's so many mini games you can go to. You got boxing, you got robot wars, you got skateboarding, you got freaking arcades you could go to, mahjong, a bunch of weird like Japanese games, like board and gambling games. You could go gambling, play blackjack. You can freaking, there's just so much content. I can't even list it all. There's just so much stuff to do, so much content. These games are like some of the rare games where I actually consider like, yeah, $60 is a fair asking price because you're getting so much content. There's so much stuff to unlock. You got so many moves and shit. There's like the campaigns, well, no, not campaign, but like the story is pretty long. You got a lot of side missions. It's just really good. Like, if you haven't played like a Yakuza game or a Judgment game, you should absolutely do this. But yeah, in conclusion, Lost Judgment, fucking awesome game. Absolutely ballin'. Yeah, really good. Please check it out. Now, before we get to our number one stock, I'd like to take some time to do some honorable mentions. These aren't necessarily games that came out in 2021. They could be like DLC or updates to games that make them new, or just old games that I only played this year. As long as I played them this year, they count. That's all that matters. Yakuza 7. Oh my god, this game, dude. This shit legit made me cry. I know it didn't come out this year, but I did manage to beat it this year. It's a long ass game. Same with like Lost Judgment, a lot of content, but it's just really fucking good. If this game came out this year, this would definitely be number one. DMC 5 Special Edition. It's just DMC 5, already great game, but with Virgil. Like, what do you want me to say more? DBFZ Final Season. It's practically a new game in terms of mechanics at this point. Just a really fun game. Don't really have much more to say. Sonic Adventure 2. Probably my second favorite Sonic game. Please don't make fun of me. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. Really fun shooter. Definitely would recommend. Has peak PS3 vibes, you know. Got that foul language. Got the childish humor. It just reminds me of PS3 days, and I really like it. Finally, Doom Ancient Gods Part 2. It's just more Doom Eternal, you know, and it's only in honorable mentions because it's DLC and doesn't really count as a full-fledged game, but it's really good nonetheless. I'm always down to play more Doom. This is number one. Guilty Gear Strive is unabashedly, positively awesome. The art style, the mechanics, the characters, and the music. Oh my fucking god, the music. Holy shit. But of course, Guilty Gear is a fighting game, and at the end of the day, that's probably what most people are here for. So how does it play? Well, I'm no expert at fighting game mechanics or terms or whatever, but I really like how this plays. You know, it's a good mix of deep mechanics with simple to understand. Well, what the fuck? I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. All I know is it's fun to play. And the game looks utterly fantastic, utterly gorgeous. I don't know what they did. They just... Arc System Works is like black magic when it comes to graphics. It's like they make it 2D and 3D at the same time. Just like all their like previous games like DBFZ or Xrd. You know, it just looks fucking great. Unbelievably fantastic. That leads into the other point, which is the characters. All the characters look great. They all have pretty fun, cool designs. They all play very differently from each other, so you're not getting like you know, a bunch of different characters that played the same. You're not getting like a billion Shotos or like a billion Gokus or whatever the fuck. Everyone's very unique, and everyone plays really well, and I have fun playing as every person on this roster, which I can't say about most fighting games. Most fighting games, you got like 5 characters, maybe 3 or 2 that you like. But here I like pretty much all of them. It's rather stunning. But the one thing that holds this game together, the glue on the tape, because all that stuff, that's good on its own, don't get me wrong. But the thing that holds this game together, that elevates it above everything else, is the goddamn soundtrack. Here, listen to some of this.
No matter what life throws at you, take it all. Whoa, fight like a tiger, walk in the park. Play the hero till I die. Fly like an eagle, soar through the sky. Be free. Discord, reside, society, your society. One take, creeps into society, your society. I'm a fool, I know nothing. I take the role of a silly clown.
Even if you don't plan on buying the game, I still strongly recommend you check out the soundtrack at the very least, because it is bussin'. God tier shit right here. This soundtrack is up there with like Metal Gear Rising and DMC5 as some of my like favorite soundtracks in a video game ever. Oh yeah, and there's also a story mode. You just watch it. It's more like you just watch it. There's no actually gameplay in the story. But I did enjoy the story mode. It's kind of like a cheesy 90s movie, if that makes any sense. You know, you have to go and save the president on the White House, and there's like a little bit of Dark Knight and Independence Day. It's really strange, but pretty enjoyable. Oh, and the final point is that this is one of the only fighting games where you could play it online and not have it be absolute ass. It's actually like pretty enjoyable when you're actually playing it online, which is especially for like modern fighting games. Like after playing a shit ton of Ultimate and DBFZ online, it's like, oh my god, it's like a godsend. Thank God for rollback. So yeah, those are my favorite games of this year. Hopefully next year will be a better year for games, but even then, I still had a lot of enjoyment with video games this year. See you next time. Bye bye.